can't bullshit your way through it. You can't just leave this boss and go grind some runes or souls to buff your stats. In Sekiro, the progression is very harshly gated, but in Elden Ring, it's open, it's free. That's the benefit of the open world, is that people have all these tools to fight the enemies with. You could argue the problem is that there's too many tools. It's a hard balance to strike where you're trying to make things that are fun, flashy, and cool, but also make them balanced. Like, if you want to cheese your way through Elden Ring, you can. And if From Software didn't want you to do that, then they wouldn't have put these tools in the game in the first place. That being said, I think there are legitimate criticisms about like how bosses are designed, how levels are designed, the arenas you fight enemies in, and whether or not that's interesting and providing a unique challenge. It's not so much like, I just want to fight a really hard boss with a tough moveset. It's also, how do you get to that boss? Do you have to traverse down some fucking poison-infested village to get to a hot spider witch? And is that challenge satisfying when you overcome it? Like, that's kind of the ticket with difficulty in these games. It's never really been about the difficulty. That's always been an expression of the harsh world, to immerse players into the game further. For me personally, I enjoy the challenge of learning a boss's moveset and all the proper timings, because when you hit that like 6 dodge combo and you can get through it, you kind of feel like a god. It's the same thing with parrying, timing attacks. It all comes down to timing. No pause button in a single player game is just straight up bad design. I don't care. Well, it's not a single player game, but I get what you're saying, it can be. These games have never had a pause feature, and I don't think they ever will. The reason, I think, is because of immersion. Once again, when you cross that fog door, you gotta lock that shit in. You gotta lock in, and it's just you and the boss in your world. You can't worry about what your fucking kids are doing. If you got kids,
you may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork into a socket.
Little Jimmy's gonna stick a fork in the outlet. Let him fry, okay? Survival of the fittest. Kid that dumb's not gonna be smart enough to beat Elden Ring, so what's the point in raising him? But I think being able to pause like mid-fight would take a lot of wind out of the game's sails. It would take away from the intensity of a boss and your immersion within the game. Like if somebody calls me when I'm fighting a boss in Elden Ring, this is pretty much what I say.
Fuck! Dude! I'm busy! Call back later!
But it's like, it's okay to advocate for more accessibility. I just respectfully disagree that these games should have a pause feature. I think it's funny that Kai Cenat, like the biggest streamer on Twitch, has been playing From Software games for like, what, 2 months? And he understands these games better than some longtime FromSoft fans.
It's a skill issue. I'm assing your ass. But your ass though. Cause you really like say this too hard. Nigga, put your big boy pants on, go out there and go fight. Like what are you talking about? If you went through all that hassle 2 years ago, why the fuck would they make a DLC for you to breeze past and be done with in a day or 2?
Guys, we're complaining about difficulty and challenge. You know the drill. We don't fuck around here. I mean, okay, we bitch, we moan, we break our controllers, we give up, we call it quits, and then we boot up the game the next day, okay? Until that fucking boss is dead on the ground forever. Booyah! Woo! It would be disappointing if Shadow of the Erdtree didn't ramp up the difficulty. If we all just breezed through it, that would be pretty shitty. And I think that's the reason why FromSoft forced players to beat Moog to gain access to the DLC. Because if you can beat Moog, you can beat every other boss in the game, I think. Moog's pretty fucking hard. So at this point, when you enter the DLC, you're supposed to basically have all tools at your disposal. That's the grounds that you should be confronting this challenge on. But I need some spicier takes, and I think I have just the answer. Now this video is from a very small creator, so I'm not sure